I think that nothing is given. You get to this point in the year, you got to earn it.
Throws the ball to the right side. Antonio Brown, 3-2-1, touchdown.
Handoff to McKissick, who slides through the center of the line.
Brady dropping, throwing. Chris Godwin, touchdown, Tampa Bay.
Taylor Heineke with an incredible scramble. Did he get his feet in? Yes, touchdown. Washington's season is on the line. It is incomplete.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers will fly home victorious.
TB12 gets it done, fellas, but I think it was a little too close for comfort there, Stephen A. Against a quarterback many people haven't heard of in Washington, the backup, Taylor Heineke. Stephen A., I'll start with you. Are you a little bit worried about the Bucs, even though they did get the win?
Hell yeah. Taylor Heineke, listen, he might be the future signal caller for the Washington football team. I was impressed with what I saw from him. He deserves props, no question about it. Threw for over 300 yards. I get all of that. But damn, it was a second start. And it was a postseason game. And the Buccaneers giving up the yardage to him, I had a problem with it. It wasn't like the Washington football team had a stout running game with Antonio Gibson in them Saturday. That wasn't the case. But somehow, some way, this kid had guts. He had moxie. He threw some really good dimes. No question about it. I love that touchdown pass that he threw. The bottom line is this. When you look at what he brings to the table, if you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, with Todd Bowles as your defensive coordinator, with these brothers on that squad, there's no reason, if you're talking about ultimately going against Drew Brees and then potentially Aaron Rodgers, if Taylor Heineke is giving you problems, what the hell are we supposed to look forward to? Again, I'm not jumping off the bandwagon or anything like that, even though I do believe both Green Bay and New Orleans are better. Tampa Bay can beat them both. But you certainly ain't going to be able to beat them if your defense is looking the way that it looked. This game was entirely too damn close for too long before Tom Brady and them were ultimately able to pull away. And I would say this, getting Devin White back, who's been gone the previous two games because he was on that COVID-19 list, is going to help because he ain't that great in coverage, but he is a great spy for, when you're looking at the quarterback. And obviously, he can help get to the quarterback as well. So in that regard, and help stuff the running game. So in that regard, I'm happy that he's getting back, and I expect things to be better. I loved what I saw from Tom Brady. I loved what I saw from Mike Evans. Chris Godwin, damn it, stop dropping so many passes, okay? Get that together. Leonard Fournette filled in admirably because Ronald Jones II wasn't there, and Leonard Fournette rushed for 93 yards, but he was very productive. So I see things on offense. Got no issues there. My issue is with Tampa's defense. I didn't like how they were allowing Taylor Heineke to fling the football because my imagination ran wild thinking about Drew Brees. We've already seen what New Orleans has done to Tampa this year, particularly the last time they were in Tampa. And obviously, if you were lucky enough to get past that, you'll likely have that bad man known as Aaron Rodgers waiting for you. Taylor Heineke should not have been giving you the trouble he gave you this Saturday if you are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Bruce Arians. I'm not happy about that.
I'm not worried about the Bucs. I mean, I didn't think they were going to win the Super Bowl this year, but I thought they'd win a playoff game, and they've done that. First of all, their defense did not play great, Stephen A. You're right. They didn't get a lot of pressure up front, which is surprising, you would think. Considering total defense, they were the 6th best in the league this year in the regular season. That happens. Not every defense looks great every week. But the Bucs, the question is, do they have a good defense or not? Yes, they do. They have a very good defense. They have not just a top half defense, they have a top quarter, like top 25 percentile defense in the NFL. If that's not elite, it's the next thing to it. So I'm not worried about that, really. Meantime, Tom Brady's looked excellent. And part of I admit it, it's not just, I was prepared to say, Tom Brady would put up numbers this year. Of course, who wouldn't? Any average quarterback would in this offense with these weapons. And by the way, they even protect very well for him normally. I mean, Washington has a really talented defense, especially up front. And okay, they're going to create some problems. But actually, the offensive line for Tampa's been pretty good and getting better all year. They may be peaking now, or at least heading into the playoffs. So I'm not too worried about that. Brady has not just looked okay, or what you'd expect from an average quarterback given all the weapons. He's given you a clear premium over that, I admit it. So I'm not worried about the quarterback, really. Well, when you put pressure on him, he doesn't like it. Yeah, no kidding. It's, of course, what quarterback likes it when, they get pressure? Of course he doesn't. And he's never been great with that compared to when the pocket is clean. And that's the key to beating Brady. Yeah, Sherlock, you think? But again, I didn't think they're going to win the Super Bowl, but I'm encouraged by what I've seen. And Stephen A., The reason is, more than anything, which shocks me to say, they have Antonio Brown. You know, when you think about the Bucs, it's so easy that he actually goes under the radar now because Mike Evans is their best receiver and Godwin, right? No, actually, if AB, who now has games under his belt and is more in the flow of the offense, as AB gets more to his normal self, he's clearly the best receiver on the team if he's just regular AB. Mike Evans was never as good as AB, and neither is Godwin. Now, at their best, they've never been as good as AB at his best, and AB is trending in that direction. So now you got to think of this Bucs team. Damn. If you think of AB in fact, not just in name, with those receivers. And finally, Stephen A., yes, the Saints have beaten them twice. That is true. Although the Saints get off to slow starts usually in the first half, and that hasn't been the Bucs' problem really recently. That is true. But if the Bucs beat the Saints, different going to the frozen tundra than it is playing in Tampa. But Stephen A., they positively beat the brakes off the Packers the first time they played, and it was at a time when the Packers were playing very well. Tom Brady and the Bucs beat them. So I wouldn't say I watched that game yesterday and say, boy, I'm scared for Tampa. If anything, I'm encouraged.
I'm amazed at how long you continue to talk. You're supposed to have a bad voice, but you keep going and going and going. I mean, I just don't understand you right here. I mean, you got to have laryngitis, brother? I mean, chill out. The fact of the matter is, Max Kellerman, none of that is relevant, and here's the reason why. Over the last 5 games, Brady has averaged over about 342 yards passing. They've averaged over 35 points a game in their last 5 games. But in 4 of their last 7 games, they've surrendered 300-yard passing games, and one of them was to some dude named Taylor Heineke, who was in his 2nd career start. And so when I look at Tampa Bay, what I'm saying is, okay, I get all your points about their offense. We expected their offense to be lethal. You've got Bruce Arians, you've got Byron Leftwich. On top of it all, you got Brady with Godwin, with Evans, with Antonio Brown, with Gronk, all of these boys, Ronald Jones, Leonard Fournette. They got weapons out the wazoo. We got all of that. But the bottom line is, when we look at the Saints, we don't think they're better than the Saints. When we look at the Packers, we don't think they're better than the Packers. Why? Because we don't expect the defense to stop those other dudes. And that's the real problem here. Somehow, some way, they're going to have to do something to neutralize opposing teams' passing attack. If you don't do that, it's going to be a problem. They're about to go up against Drew Brees. Last time they saw Drew Brees threw for 471 yards? I think that's what it is. I got to look that up. I think it was like 471 yards and like 6 touchdowns, for crying out loud. They blitzed Tampa. Guess what? The offense itself ain't going to be able to do it for you. The bottom line is their defense is going to have to show up and stop somebody. And my problem is their problem is against the pass. Against the pass with Drew Brees and likely Aaron Rodgers potentially being your next 2 quarterbacks. If you get past Drew Brees, it's a very daunting situation as far as I'm concerned. I'm looking at the Bucs secondary right now, and I got problems with it.
Oh, Michael Thomas being back, Drew Brees having his full complement of weapons, the fact that the Saints have already beaten them twice, it is daunting. The Bucs have now gotten to where I thought they would get this year. Double-digit wins. They won 11. I figured 10, but okay, double-digit wins and a playoff win. I didn't think they were going to do better than that. So if anything, if you're asking me, am I more or less confident about them now? I'm more confident about them, Stephen A., because of what I mentioned. You're right about the defense recently, but generally it's been a very good defense throughout most games of the season. That's 1. 2, the complement of receivers is absurd right now, considering the way AB's been playing lately. It's absurd. Like, how many times in the history of football have you had 3 guys at the receiver position all playing on that level, and then Tom Brady's the quarterback, and the offensive line, for the most part, has done a good job protecting him. Usually if a team beats another team twice, they'll beat them again, because what it demonstrates is they're better than that other team. Nevertheless,
look at you.
How do
losing
you
your
feel,
voice
Stephen
and
A?
still talking. Look at you. You almost choked up right there. Yo, I'm trying to help you out. Take a deep breath. Slow down.
Let me ask
Take a deep breath. Woosah. Now go ahead with your point, bro.
Thank you very much. How do you feel if you were a Saints fan? More or less confident that you've beaten them twice? Wouldn't you be nervous? Damn. Are we going to beat Tom Brady and this Bucs team 3 times in the same season?
They ain't worried about it. They ain't worried about it. They could lose, but they ain't worried about it. If I'm the Saints, I'm like, please, I already spanked them. I'll do it again.
All I know is this is the matchup we all hope for. Sunday, 6:40 Eastern. The ratings are going to be through the roof. Let's keep it moving here, fellas. I mentioned this earlier. It was a bad day for Russ and those Hawks sent home by the L.A. Rams. But you won't believe why one of the guys said Seattle messed up by how they handled their quarterback situation. They will.